Shalom.
Shalom.
Let's make sure it's on, man.
Hello.
Yo, you got your phone?
I do.
I was going. Okay, it's live. All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom. With the Feast of Tabernacles. Finna break a little bread. I know it's late night. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it through the Spirit. Feast of Tabernacles came up on us. All right, let's get give me Leviticus 23 and 34. I want to start off first and foremost giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Once again, shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. We're back with another Flame and Fire Friday through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Let me get this. And you give me Deuteronomy 16 and 13.
Which one we get?
16 and 13.
13? 16 and 13?
Yeah. I can set up on the phone if you want me to. Let me set up. Oh, you need the charging ball set on?
Yeah. You said Leviticus
26 and 34. Or 23 and 34. 23.
That power turn off, turn back on.
It's probably on rotate, right? Let me end it. Salakia. It's trying to get to. Salakia. How you go live on it? Alright, let people come in anyways or something up.
I won't turn that light on me. I don't think I can see that.
I'm gonna bring it over here.
Yeah, turn that light on right now. Don't worry about that.
You got no battery?
Yeah. Ain't gonna be that long, right?
Yeah.
Turn that light on.
Is it the second one?
Yeah, this one, the white one.
Alright. Shalom, Israel. Salaki for the little wait was when people come in. Be the Lord will too. We're finna go ahead and get started. Feast Tabernacles. Get Leviticus 23 and 34. Now, if you don't know, all the feast days is found in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So go ahead.
Alright. This is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 5th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles,
Right.
for 7 days unto the Lord.
Right.
On the 1st day shall be an holy convocation.
Right.
Ye shall do no servitude
Servile.
servile work therein."
Right, so the first day is a Sabbath. Right, you're gonna do no servile work therein. Right? When it says servile, you go to the word servile, it goes into serving work or work of serving, like doing your job, cutting the grass, painting the house, doing things of that have doing your own thing. Right? But you can do work according to that feast day, because we all know feast days, you do what? Have a feast. Right? So you can eat, you can drink, you can cook the food, right? But you're supposed to already have bought it already. So can you read?
Alright, come. It says, this is 36, it says, 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
And we went over this with the blowing of the trumpets. That offering is Yahweh Shah, right? And our bodies being the living sacrifice is also an offering. But the offering, the ultimate offering, is Yahweh Shah. We don't have to burn, we don't have to take animals and sacrifice them anymore, because we had the ultimate sacrifice, which is Yahweh Shah. Right, can you read?
It says, on the 8th day shall be the holy convocation.
Right, so on the last day of the feast, you have another Sabbath, right? Showing that the Sabbath has to be 7 days, right? So I don't know exactly how brothers brothers that keep it on new moon will keep that, because some days it won't line up like that. But, on the 8th day, you have your next Sabbath.
Okay.
Right? Can you read?
It says unto you, it says, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right. We don't have to make these offers no more. We can bring out the precepts on that too. For sure. So, Carl, can you read?
It says it is a what does it say? Solemn
assembly.
solemn an assembly. And it says, and ye shall do no
Servile
work therein.
Why you should do no servile work. Now let's go get that word servile. What's your? You said what was it again?
32:10.
32:10. I said 32. Dang it. I can't. God. So like, let's get that. That real quick. Let's get that word for servile.
What's happening?
You got what you got. Leviticus 26. What did I tell you? Deuteronomy 16.
Yeah, I got 16:10,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Hold up. I'm gonna get the servile definition for servile, so people get to understand that. We're gonna break down the offering to like we did with the blowing the trumpets in the Day of Atonement. All right. So servile. So like.
Book of good ain't man.
It's straight. It's better than a lot of other places.
I know. I make that up.
So servile word is considered serving, serving another, excessive willingness to serve, serving. You know, you serving at a job, right? You serving others at a job. You paying, you get working. You doing other work for the people, right? You making a product to give to people, right? So you serving others. So these are things that you can't do on the Sabbath, right? And we already know that. So it's not really nothing different on the Sabbaths, right? Because we every Sabbath can't do no servile work. The only difference is that servile means that we can cook, and because it's a feast day, you have to be able to cook on a feast day, right? This is the whole point of it. So get that Deuteronomy 16 on.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 10. And thou shalt keep the feast of the weeks unto the Lord their God with a tribute of free will offering.
It's 16 and 13 on. Come back.
16 and 13.
All right.
Okay. 16 and 13. Deuteronomy chapter 16 and 13. Thou shalt observe the feast of the tabernacle 7 days after thou hast gathered in their corn and their wine.
Right, so we're supposed to gather all the things we're gonna get before the feast day, just like the other feast days. The feast of feast of the blowing of the trumpets. You got all your stuff together before you do it, right? So you gather all your corn and your wine before this feast day. You prepare for the feast day because everything's done decently and in order, right? Can you read?
And thou shalt rejoice in their feast.
And that's what we're doing today. Brothers been, coming together, rejoicing in the feast.
Yeah.
Drinking of the wine,
eating
good food. That's what it's about. Coming together.
Yeah.
Holy convocation. Right, keep reading.
And their sons and their daughter and their manservant, and their maidservant, and the Levite,
right,
the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within their gates.
Right, because you got Israelites that was coming from far away to keep these solemn days. We're gonna bring that out too in the next verse, right? In the next precept, right? Keep reading.
7 days shall thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord their God
Deuteronomy 16 and 16.
in the place which the Lord shall choose.
Right. So 7 days you'll keep this feast. Now the Lord, like I said, we keeping these feast days to the best of our ability. In these days we have certain places that we will go to keep these feast days. These things, we're doing things to our best of our ability in this captivity, right? So that's the parts you gotta, you just gotta deal with that, man. We don't have a certain place where all Israel as a nation can come together. That place where the Lord ordained. Just like we don't have a temple to go and do certain things like tithes and do certain other things, because we don't have a temple set up for certain things. We don't have decrees that go forth. We don't have Levitical priests. We don't have such things that we used to have. So we observe these days to the best of our abilities to do these things. Right, can you read?
Because the Lord their God shall bless thee
Right.
in all their increase.
Right. So the Lord is going to bless us, man. So we got to, keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Now the brother said, you just read out that scripture about the strangers coming in.
Yeah.
Now we're going to read who are the strangers in that verse. It's in Deuteronomy 16 and 16. Right? Bring it up.
Right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16. It says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose.
Right, so you had people come to Jerusalem 3 times a year for these feast days. You had them coming from all over to come and keep these feast days. Some men were strangers. A lot of men didn't know them, right? They weren't, they weren't known all the way. You know what I'm saying? So they were known as a stranger because they came from these far lands, because they came from these different places, and they weren't always in Jerusalem, right? Can you read?
It says, in the feast of unleavened bread,
right,
and in the feast of weeks,
right,
and in the feast of the tabernacles,
right,
and they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
Right, you should prepare for the Lord empty on the Feast of Tabernacles, because you should be giving to one another. Right, you should be, feasting. You should come together. You should be giving brothers things. You should be doing righteous things, right? Righteous acts. Like you read
17. It says, every man shall give as he is able.
Right, you should give to people. This is the time to be, to be in the spirit, man. To give to brothers, to, help brothers out, to, cook for brothers, feed, eat, come together. It's a feast. Right, can you read?
According to his blessing of the Lord thy God,
right,
which he had given thee.
Right.
It says, judge and offerings.
Let's sit on that.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. So, you see this, that we have to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, man. Right? And even in the kingdom, you're gonna have these other nations keeping the Feast of Tabernacles along with us. Right? We understand that in the prophecy of Zechariah. This knowledge, this wisdom is going to go to all the other nations also, right? Get Zechariah 14 and 16, Brother Yahweh. Zechariah 14 and 16.
14 and 16.
Right. Because this is a day we're going to always keep forever. We're going to put...
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nation which came against Jerusalem shall even go up for year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the feast of the tabernacle.
Right, so they got all these other nations, they're going to be forced to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. They're going to be forced to keep do the things that's in the law. Right? Can you read?
And it shall be that whosoever will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
Right, they're going to have no rain. They're going to have no knowledge, and they're going to be destroyed. Let's show that in the next verse. Give verse 18.
And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, these shall be the plague.
There shall be the plague. Right, can you read?
wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Right. So these heathen that don't keep the feast of tabernacles is gonna be smitten. They're gonna be destroyed. Right. So Khan, you got this is a holy day, man. Right. So we'll go get into who is our sacrifice and who is our offering. Give me Romans 5 and 7 up. And another precept. Let me get that. Like I need this precept. Give me John 7 and 2 out, brother. Yahweh.
John 7 and 2.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
John chapter 7 verse 2. Now the Jews' feast of the tabernacle was at hand.
Right.
His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence and go into Judea, that the disciples also may see the works that thou doest.
Right.
For this is no man that does anything in secret, and him himself seeketh to be known openly.
Right.
If thou do these things, show thyself to the world. For neither did his brethren believe in him. Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is away ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil.
Right.
Go you into the feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet fully come.
Right. So the disciples went up to the Feast of Tabernacles. Right. You read.
When he had said this words unto them, he abode still in Galilee.
Right.
But when his brethren was gone up, then went he also up unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret.
Right.
Then the Jews saw.
So you see, Yahweh Shah went to the Feast of Tabernacles in secret. Right. He went to the Feast of Tabernacles. He kept that law. Right. He read.
Then the Jews sought at the feast and said, Where is he?
Right. They was looking for him. Can you read?
And they was much murmur about the people concerning him. For some said he is a good man, others say nay, but he deceived the people.
Right, so that's the point is that Yahweh Shah,
right.
He kept the Feast of Tabernacles. Even when everyone's looking for him, trying to kill him, he went up there even in secret to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Right? Let's go to give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. And you got Romans 5 and 7, right?
Come.
Hold on real quick.
1 Corinthians?
Yeah.
11
10. I mean, yeah, 11
and 1. Be you follower of me,
right?
Even as I also am of Christ.
Right, so be you followers of, Paul said, be a follower of me, even as I'm a follower of Christ. So we got to be a follower of Christ. Christ kept the Feast of Tabernacles, so you got to keep the Tabernacles. Right? Christ kept the Passover, so you got to keep the Passover. Right? Christ kept the holy days, so you got to keep the holy days. Christ kept the law, statutes, commandments, so you got to keep the law, statutes, commandments. Right? He left us an example in Christ, right, of things to do. Right? So, God, give me that Romans chapter 5 and verse
7.
What's the point I wanted to get?
What you looking for?
The offering scripture, so like it. Might be in Hebrews, but I want Salakia. Bear with me, Israel. Bear with me, hold up. All right, give me Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 4.
Yeah.
Okay, come. All right. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 4. It says, "For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away his sins."
Take away sin.
Take away sins. Like
Right, so it's not possible that the blood of goats and bulls and lambs can take away sin, right? That was just symbolic for Yahweh Shai, right? The whole thing was symbolism for that lamb without blemish, man. Right? Can you read?
It says, "Wherefore."
What else? Like, can you read about that in Matthew 26 and 67, Numbers 8 and 10, Christ being that ultimate sacrifice, right? We brought it out last week, right? Can you read?
It says, "Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, Sacrifice the offering thou."
Sacrifice in.
It's like sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me.
Right, can you read?
And in a burning offering, burnt offerings, and sacrifice for sins thou hast not had no pleasure.
Right, can you read?
It says, "Then said I, lo, I come. In the volume of the book, it is written of me, to do thy will, of God."
Oh God.
Oh,
So Christ came in the volume of the book. All these things, these feast days, they're all symbolic for Yahweh Shai in certain ways. These like the Passover, the Day of Atonement, right? The tabernacle is symbolic because we're coming together as one and doing the things that Yahweh Shai wants us to do, coming together for 7 days, doing the things pleasing unto the Lord, right? Can you read?
All right, come. It says,
In the offerings we made every day of the Feast of Tabernacles, we're going to show who is our offering now. And then those offers and those sacrifices mean nothing now, right? You're not going to do nothing but just be burning the animal if you go and try to sacrifice an animal, right? Can you read?
8, it says, "Above, when he said, Sacrifice and offering, and burnt offerings, and offering for sin, thou wouldest not, neither has pleasure therein." It says, "Which are offered by the law."
Right, can you read?
It says, "Then he said."
Then said he.
Oh, it's like, "Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God."
Right.
"He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second."
Right, so the Lord took away those, he had no pleasure in the blood of bulls and rams. So he took away that he may bring upon what it was all meant for at the very beginning, right? He took away the first that he may establish the second, and the second is Yahweh Shai being that ultimate offering, right? Can you read?
It says, "By the which we were,"
No.
we are
Read that
sacrificed.
again.
That's like, "By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, once for all."
So we sanctified by Yahweh Shai once and for all. That was that ultimate sacrifice. You read about that in Matthew 26 and 67, Numbers 8. That's a precept for it, right? So you see that Yahweh Shah was the ultimate sacrifice when those priests, those Levitical priests laid hands on him, transferring the sins of Israel unto him before he died, because they knew that he was the ultimate sacrifice, right? There's a reason why they buffeted him. They because that's that's what the Levitical priest did. You read about it in Numbers 8, right? In 15, I believe. Right, can you read?
It says, and every priest stand daily ministering and offering oftentimes these same sacrifices, which can never take away sin.
Right, because you had the priests killing these animals and doing all these sacrifices, killing all these animals, which can never take away sins. Yahweh Shah is the only one that can take away sins. The Most High sent His Son to die to take away the sins, their ultimate sacrifice. The only reason why these lambs and these bullets work, because the Most High set it up to be a schoolmaster for Yahweh Shah, right? He set it up to teach us about Yahweh Shah. So when Yahweh Shah came and took away our sins, you didn't have brothers like, what is that? Because they understood that he was the whole time they was really doing it for him. The whole time the Passover was by Yahweh Shah. The whole time the Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles, all of it is symbolic for Yahweh Shah. Why? Because Yahweh Shah is the Word, right? He came low. He came in the volume of the book, right? Can you read?
It says, but this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for his sin, for sins, for every sin.
Read it again from the top.
Right, come. It says, but this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever.
Right, so it's Yahweh Shah was that sacrifice for sins forever, right? He was the nail in the coffin, right? He was what the Bible was leading up to, right? When it says he fulfilled the law in Matthew 5:17, he was the fulfillment of those laws. He was the fulfillment. It's not talking about you ain't got to keep the law, statutes, commandments no more. It says he's the fulfillment of those offerings. He's the fulfillment of those sacrifices. He's the fulfillment of all those things, because Christ was the reason why the whole thing was leading up to. That was the school teacher to teach us about Christ, right? Can you read?
It says, settle down on the right hand. It says, of God.
Right, and set down on the right hand of God. Right, can you read?
It says, for henceforth is exceeding till his enemy, expecting until his enemies be made his footstool.
Right, because Yahweh Shah is going to slay these enemies. He's going to slay. He's going to bring righteous judgment. Right, can you read?
It says, for by one offering he had perfected for every them.
No, read it from the top.
It says, for by one offering he had perfected for every them.
There's no every, it's ever.
Ever them that are sanctified.
Yeah, like I say, I'll read it slow. Right, so by one offering he had perfected forever them that are sanctified. Right, so for one offering, that was the perfect offering, man. Right? Through Yahweh Shah. Right? Get Hebrews 12 and 23 out. And we ain't gonna go too long in this. You know, it's pretty late at night. We got a couple more precepts and
Hebrews 12 and 23. Okay. To the General Assembly and Church of the Firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, to Yahweh, the judge of all men, and to the spirits of just men made perfect, and to Yahweh Shah, the mediator of the new covenant.
Right, because Yahweh Shah is the mediator of the new covenant. Right? There's a new covenant that's coming into place. It all begins at Yahweh Shah. Right? When we get those spiritual bodies, we're going to be resurrected just like Yahweh Shah was resurrected. Right? It all begins with him. He's the mediator of this new covenant that we entering into. Right? Can you read? That we ain't yet in. Right? Can you read?
To the blood of the sprinkling that speaketh better things than of Abel.
Right, so this blood of sprinkling is better than in those sacrifices. It's better than those offerings because this is the perfect example, man. Right? This is the definition of righteousness. You had a man without sin die for his nation, for his people, right? As it is written, to fulfill the things of the law, man. Right? Yahushua he could have sent a band of angels and destroyed everyone if he wanted to, but he didn't do that because he had to fulfill the word, right? You remember Yahushua said, he said, if it's possible, remove this cup from me. But he knew that he had to be put to death for this. He hated that he was going to be leaving his brother behind, that all these things was going to come to pass like that. But he understood that he had to fulfill the work of the Most High God, right? So, that's just a beautiful point right there, man. Showing about how Yahushua is that final offering. He is that lamb without blemish that we read about, man. So, Colin, I want to get another. Yeah, but Colin, you could we was going to bring out that Matthew 26:67, but you could bring that out in your own time and see how the priests laid their hands on Yahushua. Just like in Numbers 8:13, where the priests used to lay their hands on the offerings after the people them laying their hands, or the people laying their hands on them, right? Transferring the spirit, right? So y'all got anything else y'all want to bring out? Because it's late night, man. That's good. Bringing that out. It was nice to have we had a quick, breakdown, quick lesson on it.
A lot of people need to know,
Yeah, come together on this feast, man.
Yeah, man.
Some brothers, it's good that, encamp with each other. Try to make it as much as it used to be.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Even though your house is your tabernacle, you know what I'm saying? You got some brothers that, put up covers and, they try to make it seem like they living in the tent within their house. If you can do that, do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't, if the Spirit leads you to do that, do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not going off. You can make it more like a tent if you want to, but, it's not going off if you just sitting in your house and, you still congregating and doing the things that the Lord told you to do. But, there's still, if you can make it like that, if you can, even the brothers, if you can stay outside the tent for 7 days, if you can do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, you just want to get the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Right? Coming together, the loving, what the feast was truly about, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, unity. Right? Gathering ourselves together, man. That's what it's all about. Let me get that precept before we end out. It says Zephaniah, give me Jeremiah 50 and 33, one of y'all. This is Zephaniah 2:1. It says, gather yourselves together. Gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day passeth the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Right? So we gotta gather ourselves together while we can, man, because the day of destruction is coming. The day of death is coming. So these days of precious Jacob's trouble is coming. When all that comes, all hell breaks loose, we're going to be able to do things like this. Right? So it's a beautiful thing.
Awesome, man.
Get to Jeremiah 50 and 33.
Okay. Jeremiah, you want me to do it?
Yeah, bring it out.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and 33. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were passed together and will oppress together.
Right, so the children of Israel, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, Judah, were oppressed together. We all been oppressed in this thing, man. We all done went through hell in this thing, man. Right? The Lord has put us through a lot, man. Right, can you read?
It says, and all that took them captives, held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Right, just like today, America refused to let us go. Right? Our brothers, the Hispanics and Native Americans, they under this captivity. We've been destroyed as a people, and they don't refuse to let you go, man. They tell you can move out and go somewhere else, But you ain't got the financial capabilities to do that, right? So you stuck here, man. You can't get out, right?
Yeah.
Can you read?
It says there, what does it say?
Redeemer
Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts, his name
is his name.
is his name.
Right, so the Lord of hosts is, so we have a Redeemer, the Most High through his Son, man. Right, can you read?
It says he shall thoroughly play their cause.
Right, so he's going to thoroughly plead their cause. Right, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, was going to say Yahweh Shah to plead our cause, man. Right, can you read?
It says that he may give rest to the land.
Right.
And this quiet the inheritance. Inhabitants of Babylon.
Right, so he's gonna plead their cause. We got a Redeemer that's gonna redeem us, man. So that's what these days are for. We've been through hell. We've been oppressed together. So we wait for our Redeemer, and we celebrate these days which are about our Redeemer, the Most High, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. But with that, y'all got any more precepts I want to bring out for tonight?
I just want to say, man, this is part of letting you know that time is winding up.
Right.
When you see Israel as a people learning their nationality, coming back to the truth, keeping all these feast days, gathering themselves together,
right,
man, it's time is getting near. So, people, wake up.
Right.
Wake up.
Right. Said the kingdom of God is within you.
So
when we start coming back to ourselves, when we start doing righteousness, the Lord's going to start coming back to us.
That's right.
It's how it works, man. And the faster we move, the faster we work righteousness, the faster the Most High going to be dealing with us. And the faster this kingdom going to fall down. Because it's already crumbling like crackers, man.
Yeah.
It's already crumbling down, man. Right? The kingdom of these heathen it's just crumbling. Right? But it's crumbling through the spirit and the power of the Most High. And it crumbles with every Israelite. They keep these commandments and come back and keep the feast days of the Lord and do things to their best of their ability sincerely, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we in captivity and certain things we can't do. Like I said, we don't have a temple to go to. We've been subject to certain things because of our captivity. So while we're in this captivity, we got to make the best of our situation. We got to praise the Lord and remember his name, like I said in Luke 2:30. Right? We shall remember ourselves in the land of our captivity and praise his name. Praise his name, man. This is how you praise his name, rehearsing the righteous works, man. Right? You don't praise his name by still celebrating Christmas and still coming into the Thanksgiving and celebrating damn Halloween and dressing up in a damn monkey suit. Right. You celebrate the Lord by doing the things that's pleasing unto the Lord.
Yeah, man.
And that's the things that the Lord is well pleased in. And like the brother was just touching on, this is a sign of the last days. Once you see our people as a whole coming back to who they truly are, because that's a sign, right, that you can't miss. Because before the end come, the Lord said there had to be a falling away, right? So we fell away, we coming back, right? And then the man of sin has to be revealed. The man of sin has been revealed, the devil, right? This so-called Edomite, right? So you understand? I mean, not the so-called Edomite, the Edomite. The so-called white man, right? So-called. Anything else our brothers want to add to?
One more last thing. It's so hard for our people to believe that they are the chosen people of the Most High.
Right.
Because we've been through so much. It's so many people just don't believe it.
No.
That how can the Negroes, the African Americans, you know what I'm saying, all the names that we've been called, be the chosen people of God. And
right.
It really, even within Israel itself as a people, they don't want to believe it.
No.
So it's time for you to wake up and know that, hey, the Lord chose you
God.
to be his special people.
Right.
The one that been an outcast for all these many years to every nation is the chosen jewel.
Right.
The Lord done that. He done that.
Right.
And now we're raising up and letting people know who we are. And can you imagine the shame on their face?
Right.
Knowing how they have treated the chosen people of God.
Right.
So God is revealing this into your very eyes. Letting you know that you are the apple of his eye.
Right.
He had chosen you, Israel.
Right.
To be his special people. Above all people on the earth. Now you can walk around with your head up knowing that you are God's chosen people.
Right.
And he's coming back to redeem you.
Right. And what makes you holy? Someone that does holy means separate or set apart.
Exactly, man.
So you got to do separate or set apart things. You're not separate or set apart if you sitting there doing your own things.
Right.
Because get that Romans 7 and 12 before we head out. One more precept. I'm gonna get that Deuteronomy 7 and 6, what the brother was just touching on. For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So we're a holy people. Now what makes you holy? Holy ain't just, coming to church every Sunday and, playing the part and you falling out in the church and, you spitting everywhere and doing all type of madness. Being holy is doing the things the Lord told you to do and keeping his laws. And these are laws that the Most High give us forever in Leviticus 23rd chapter. So bring out that Romans chapter 7 and verse 12.
Romans chapter 7, verse 12.
Right.
Wherefore, the law is holy.
So these laws is what separates us, right? These other nations, they don't have no guidance, right? They don't have no instruction. These laws are an instruction, man, a way that we should live our life, right? So these things are only given unto us. It wasn't given unto other people. So when you celebrate these things, something that's only given unto you, you're not going to be like everyone else on the block.
Exactly.
Right? You're not going to be like everyone, because this is what makes you holy. We were a separate nation. Why? Because we were given the commandments. We were given the laws and the statutes. We were given the ways to live that it was pleasing unto the Most High. Right? So the moment you separating yourself from the laws, statutes, commandments is the moment where you're not holy no more. Right? You're not holy. You're not separate. You're not set apart. You've been conjoined with the world. Right? But that's just the point that I wanted to touch on, man.
That's good.
So you gotta, to be holy, you gotta keep his holy commandments.
You gotta keep them, man.
Right? But with that, we give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Hopefully brothers and sisters was edified.
Yes.
I know it was a quick Flaming Fire Friday,
Yeah.
but Satan didn't want us to bring it out. We had to download a new streaming system and it would come out and had to delete it and start it back over, but we did it through the Spirit. Just we wouldn't give up on it, man. So hopefully brothers and sisters was edified, got a little more knowledge than they didn't have before, and like I said, hopefully brothers and sisters was edified, got knowledge and wisdom. Shalom. Yashallah, and Kwame Yashallah. And happy Feast of Tabernacles, man.
Brothers and sisters.
Gather yourselves together, O nation, not desire, man.
Not desire.
Right. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. We love you.
Shalom.